Starting off this half hour in Mabton, we're learning that the city's recent financial records are so scattered that they're having to take revenue and expenditures from 2021 while adjusting for inflation for next year's budget. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell dug through former audits and found that the city's issues with accounting dates back decades.
Looking at the audit report, it's clear that the city of Mabton has been struggling with its accounting practices over the past 20 years. And the situation doesn't appear to have improved since the mayor took over 3 years ago.
I can't understand how you guys can move forward when you don't even know what's left over from the previous years.
The city of Mabton hasn't submitted a budget to the state auditor's office in the past 6 years and no annual financial reports in the past 2 years.
The city would probably be considered unauditable by the state auditor's office. They said that they can't do an audit on 2022 or 2023 yet because the annual reports haven't been filed.
But Mabton's been facing problems like this for decades. The city had no audit findings for financials between 1992 and 2003, and had a brief clean period from 2009 to 2013. But Mabton's had 15 audit findings between 2004 and 2020, the last year audited by the state. 20 years ago, lacking financial reports, the auditor's office had to postpone their audit for 2004 through 2008 until 2009. 4 findings came up in that audit report, which notes the city failed to reconcile bank statements or provide annual reports to the state and passed a budget late. The city replying that, quote, many of our issues stem from the failure over the years to establish reliable procedures and policies. This has been aggravated by staffing issues. History repeating itself now in 2024.
There's a slew of things that are going to get called out with findings in their audit process.
The city operating without a budget all year, finally receiving a preliminary 2024 budget on October 8th.
So that the expenditures that the city has made so far and that they're going to be making for the rest of this year are authorized and legal.
The 2024 budget based on what the city's already spent this year.
I did put a budget together with the best information that I could get from the system, which is not horribly accurate in my opinion. I've already made lots of corrections. It seemed to be there was maybe not a complete understanding by previous staff, and I can see that sort of reflected in some of the accounting errors. So I would have a hard time vouching for the previous information, not to say anything was intentionally monkeyed or anything, but it does need to be gone through with a fine-tooth comb.
But residents want answers.
And that's not fair to the taxpayers. Because we don't know where this money's going to, we don't know how much money's available, we don't know anything about the finances.
One resident pressing the city on if a deputy city clerk accused of being involved in a fake robbery scheme is still on paid administrative leave.
Since it's public funds, all you have to say is if she's being paid or if she's not, because that's our money, we're paying her. Everybody sitting here that lives in Mabton is paying her. Yeah. So I think that we have the right to know if she's still being paid or not.
Yeah, she's still being paid.
But since prosecutors declined to file charges against her pending further investigation, and with no mention of any ongoing internal investigation to determine if the employee's conduct violated any city policies, it's unclear why she's still on paid leave. The goal for the city to pass a 2024 budget before the end of the year.
As the information becomes clearer, we can go and refine the budget and pass an amendment.
The council working on the 2025 budget at a special meeting Saturday, but the accounts still not reconciled.
Until I can really do that, there's not really a point in providing you guys with fund balance information right now because the information that's in the system, unfortunately, is incredibly inaccurate.
One example, property tax revenue.
In 2021, we had $180,000 in revenue for property tax, but in 2022, it only shows $104,000. Well, we definitely know that that's not correct.
That's why the proposed 2025 budget based on financials from 2021, adjusted for inflation.
For a lot of them, I took the actual expenditures for 2021 and I pushed that out with the CPI from that time of 12% to get those.
Porter says the city does have money in the bank.
I don't want you to panic that there's not money in the bank account to pay checks or to pay employees. There is cash in the bank account. There is enough money to pay for expenditures. It's just that they haven't been reconciled with the accounting system. So the city is not, it doesn't look like we're going bankrupt. bankrupt. We're not all of a sudden going to turn everyone's water off and lay off employees. It's simply that the finances have not been kept up to date with the actual money that's in the bank, and we need to get that straightened out.
A public hearing for the final 2024 budget is set for October 22nd, while a public hearing for the preliminary 2025 budget is set for November 26th. For Good Morning Northwest, I'm Emily Goodell.